Grand Rising. Yep. The migrants are getting in groups in Ireland and packing their shit and leaving town. Well, isn't that interesting? Surprise, surprise. Yep. The Irish are not going to have these lazy welfare cases take over their country, especially their cities. I don't think it's going to stop. They're going into rural areas now. So, keep things going. But like I said, we're going to see how things get changed over. When you start to see people like this, good, honest, law-abiding citizens starting to rise up and get to the streets or take to the streets, we have to be close to the end. The colors on the UFC are the same as the EBS. Well, there you go. I don't know how they're going to present all this event stuff, but it's going to get very, very colorful in many ways. I wanted to say a few things. I never had time to write anything down, but things that keep popping up in my head. I was listening to Scott McKay yesterday. Very interesting stuff. What is the big thing that's happening right now? Everything that's happened back in the, a year ago with Lahaina and the Palisades in L.A. and the North Carolina and goes on with Texas and everything else. Everybody that has been was involved in that, the usual suspects have been basically more or less picked up, and they've been working through that system. They've been indicted, and they've been shipped off to the YMCA. So, and again, the High Horseman was, his 30-year reign of HUMAN trafficking has come to an end. And they have captured him and his 50 henchmen that he had working under him. They've all been captured, and I don't like the way it's going to end for them. Trump said he talked with Johnny, and all is going as planned. Good. He says the boss is in his conference. Good. There's a lot of things out there that are not being said to, Joe Public. Okay? We have to dig this information up, and we are the new, truth highway out here, because you're never going to get this from mainstream media. We, in most cases, a lot of the truthers out there have a larger audience than CNN in most cases. So, because people are starving for the truth. Yeah. Our unelected leadership is stealing your money. They're taking Canadian assets and they're basically putting them in under other names inside the United States. Yeah. And they're doing that, and I'm not going to name the names, but they're the top 50 operators that are running or operating absolute. I don't even know why they think they can get away with this. And I'll tell you, the money that is going over there, President Putin is extremely upset with Canada because of the money that our leadership is stealing from our honest taxpayers in Canada and having it sent over to Ukraine to supply them with drones that are absolutely peppering Russia, Russian soil and, killing innocent people. And where's that? That all has to be funded. And it's being funded by Canadian taxpayer money and controlled by the CRA or whoever is operating these corrupt politicians are sending this over. Please stop paying your taxes. There's so many warnings that are out there that we could stop this absolute shit show if we just stop paying our taxes. I've been doing it for 20 years now. I'm doing whatever I can. And I want everybody to really get serious about this. You can, if you're an employee, you can go to your employer and say, I'll take care of my taxes, thank you very much. And you can get a letter, an affidavit made up saying that you'll be handling your own taxes, whatever, and just type it out, whatever, and give them a formal letter saying I want to be able to handle my own taxes. I have my own company and I have to declare, I have my own tax, that I will deal with it, and then just never declare it. Because you know where this illegal tax is going to. It's going to fund the NAZIs. This operation against humanity is going to continue as long as people out there continue to pay their taxes. That's illegal. You're contributing to an illegal act. You're breaking the law. Common law. Okay? You're breaking the law. Stop paying your taxes. I know it's hard to do at the gas station and gas pumps. I get it. Or, wherever you might have to pay, wherever, they're inciting that stuff. But you could also fight it at the grocery store or wherever you're paying by using your social security number or your social insurance number, and whatever those 9 numbers are, or take a look at your birth certificate and take a look at the registration number on the back and tell them to use that number to be exempt from paying tax. We all have to rise up and go against this system. Okay? If we don't, then this will just continue. Look at the difference of what's happening in the arena, in the Belfast, in Ireland, in Glasgow, or not maybe in Glasgow, but in Belfast right now. They're taking back the streets and things are getting done. Okay? They are doing the things that they need to do to protect their children. That means coming out onto the street with their pitchforks and torches. And the welfare cases are scattering and they're heading out. They're gone. They're not welcome there anymore. And they just caught another migrant that stabbed a little girl in the neck. I don't know exactly where it was from. I think it was in England, in London. They're here to attack Christianity. Okay? No chemtrails where you are? Good. I think the trails that they're shooting out there right now is a good solution. Hydrogen peroxide, maybe other. It's a healing compound from what I'm understanding. We are looking and experience this complete military-controlled movie. It's all a military-controlled movie, what's happening right now. And I guess they're waiting. They're waiting for people to rise up. I don't know. In different countries. I believe that different countries will go off at different times. I don't think this is all. Sure, there might be an EBS blackout. The EBS, I know is very, very close because I believe the stock market could crash, and the bonds market, and I want to get into that a little bit, but I believe that could crash anytime in the next 5 minutes, in the next 5 or 6 days, maybe in a week or two, but it's gonna crash. And all the bonds and everybody holding bonds right now, there is so much fraudulent and counterfeit bonds, school bonds, counterfeit bonds, and there is some guy in the public school, very high up there. He's achieved many different things, to get him in the position that he's in, to do with the schools and everything else. He was putting out a lot of counterfeit bonds. Now, after an investigation of him, they found out that he was a spy from Spain, undocumented, and had been inside the United States for over 30 years, collecting information and giving it back to the Spaniards. He's been caught, and what they're unfolding and what they're uncovering right now is mountains and mountains of counterfeit bonds that were being sold on the street. So anybody that is holding bonds inside the United States right now, doesn't matter what bond they are, you have to double check that to make sure that they're even authentic. Also, the IRAs, the 401ks, and RRSPs, and all these other things that are out there that you've got going as far as a savings system inside the central banks, that's all going to crash. What I've been saying for the last 5 years, 6 years now. I've been saying it to get your money out. Yes, the ABS is soon. I have a small protest to go to with, what do they call it? Drag queen story time in our town. And I'm going to go down there with some patriots and not insult them, but I will. I'll make them think. Yes, I think it's soon. It's going to get so heated up. I mean, they might go kinetic and start bombing, certain evil sites. That's what I think. They might go ahead and do that. And, I know right now that Trump has announced several times that the enemy is within right now. The enemy behind the gates inside the United States. And the attacks are heating up on, innocent civilians. And that's why I say you have to protect your children. You have to be with them at all times. Otherwise, they're going to be low-hanging fruit that these psychopaths can attack. They're all walking around with knives. So, you have to be there with bug spray, bear spray, whatever, anything that sprays and shoots. You can go buy them at the hardware store. You can get a Hornet spray, all this stuff. Stick it in your purse. It's going to be one of your things that you're going to have to carry around. They do have fancy, spray holders on the side of your belt you can get, and you can put that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a bug spray. They might stop you and say, "What is that?" And just say, "Oh, it's my bug spray," because because we're in the summertime. Just say, "I have hornets all over the place, and I got to keep it with me." At my place, I just forgot to take it off. Whatever, you can make up excuses, but you can put it in your purse or put it in a side bag. Like with a strap over it. Put it in a side bag. There's lots of ways of doing it. We have to use our imagination. That way, you're protected. Like if that guy that was attacked in Ireland, if those people had a Hornet spray or bear spray, they could have hammered him, and they would have shut that thing down right away, rather than stand there and say, "Get off of him, get off of him." Well, you think he's going to get off him? No. You have to get kinetically involved. Money's on its way, I believe it is. The currency revaluation is totally different than what NESARA is, and GESARA. And GESARA is totally different than what the metals market is. Totally separate. There's all kinds of things and investments that are out there that you can make and invest in if you want to invest in things. If you got no money, then you sit back and wait. Get all your paperwork together. Get your birth certificate together. Get a couple of bills that prove that you're from that particular address. Get your health care cards, all that stuff. Get it all together in a portfolio. Yeah, I put mine in. I got a metal portfolio here of my, and my ID and whatever, that's all sitting in that case. I got 2 bags that are full of everything that I need. Yeah, and because when the EBS does happen, this is what you're going to be required to do, when you do get called upon, when the redemption centers, because the redemption centers are going to happen. Okay, I believe that the banks are going to be fading out. I think the banks are going to be either they conform to, following the guidelines of the military and have the gold back assets to cover all their deposits. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. And everybody has to, right now, take care of your assets and your situation, your family is very, very important at these times right now. Because what's about to happen, all right? They should have taken over the mainstream media on this day. Yes, they have. A very good point. But the mainstream media or the military is allowing the mainstream media to carry on to piss people off and shy them away. It's also an IQ test. All right? Yep. All right. I got to run here. Got things to do. So I will catch you tomorrow.